We're back. The Outback Quarterback Podcast, YouTube exclusive episode, the biggest villains in the NFL. Let's go. All right, boys. 2 each. Who are your biggest villains? Why don't you start, Hawley?
I'll double up, do them both at once.
Go.
Because they're similar in terms of position. Well, they are the same position. But Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
They're villains because everybody hates success. They're jealous of success. Tom Brady is Mr. Success.
That's why everyone hates this show.
That's why everyone hates us. Tom Brady is Mr. Success. He is the GOAT. And Patty Mahomes is on his path to become the next GOAT, essentially. For me, he's GOAT 2.0 at the moment. He's successful. The Chiefs are annoying. They win. There's a lot of outside noise in terms of Kelsey's and
Taylor Swift,
and all of this. And you could just see at our Super Bowl party, Kurt, there would have been 75-80% of the fans were going for Philly.
More.
More.
It was.
Probably more.
They were literally
95%.
Yes, 95%. There were 100 people there. 2 Chiefs fans, my parents, who I asked to wear red, so I wasn't alone, and me. So it was 95 to 5.
And that's because Patrick Mahomes is successful. The Chiefs are successful. They're led by Patrick. And I'm sure in Brady's day, the Patriots were hated. Tom Brady was hated by everybody bar Patriot supporters. So my 2 villains are probably going to be the 2 most successful quarterbacks in the NFL.
All right. That's good. I mean, we had to say it. It had to come out on this list somewhere. Now, this won't be a comprehensive list because we're only doing 2 each, so it'll be 6 total. But I've gone a different approach, Dos, and you'll know this name, Vontaze Burfict.
I got him here.
All right. You tell me why you got him. Linebacker for 7 years for the Bengals and 3 games for the Raiders before he was kicked out of the league, Dos.
4 games for the Raiders. In this 4th game, he got a nice suspension for
helmet to
helmet. Jack Doyle from Indianapolis Colts tight end, I think it was.
Yep.
22 games missed through suspension, Hawley, across 14 separate incidents.
And this is not a league that hands out many suspensions.
No, you got to
not for on-field stuff.
Not on-field. And then there's also violation of PEDs and drug policy thrown in there as well. $5.3 million in fines, Hawley, and lost salary.
Just a lot, isn't it? $5.3 million.
Just racking it up. The 2015 wildcard game versus the Steelers.
This is shocking.
So the Bengals had won the division, 12-4. They were hosting the Steelers. Steelers trailed late in the 4th quarter, down... I can't remember. Down less than a field goal, 2 points I think it was, with 18 seconds left. Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown.
Yep.
Burfict comes through, big hit to the head of Antonio Brown.
Yeah, and about literally 2 seconds late.
Yeah, he's defenseless. He was unprotected, knocked him out cold. Massive penalty after that. I think it was about a 30-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and that put Steelers in the field goal position. They kicked the winning field goal, away we go, and Cincinnati's playoff winless drought continues there, or lack of success in the playoffs.
It was a sickening hit, Dos. For anyone who hasn't seen
it's bad.
Burfict on Brown, like sometimes we go, oh, these guys are funny, they're villains. This was just horrible.
Yeah.
Like I put him on this list not for entertainment value, but because he was truly, he's one of the dirtiest players I've ever seen in any sport. That Brown hit, it's one of the worst things I've seen on a sporting field, outside of maybe Todd Bertuzzi on Steve Moore. Remember when he broke his neck in the NHL?
Yeah.
Like, that was a sucker punch from behind. This is basically the NFL equivalent. Not quite as bad because the result wasn't as bad, but you look at Brown now with the issues he has with his mental health and potential CTE, like...
He had another hit on Brown later on in his career as well, Burfict.
Which I think...
Juju Smith-Schuster also lined him up.
I was about to say, I think...
Juju got revenge on a block.
Killed later on.
I didn't know he had it in him. Honestly, you look at the TikToking Juju Smith-Schuster now and you forget he lined up Burfict and he got him back. And you don't, it's not necessarily an eye for an eye, but as a teammate, you must look at that and go,
back up your
thanks,
mates.
man. Well done. Like, because he had it coming, Burfict. He'd hurt a lot of guys in the league.
And I spoke about the you mentioned the Raiders in 2019 where he lasted in his 4th game, that hit to Doyle. Basically, the NFL suspended him for the rest of the season after that hit. And it wasn't just for that hit. It was the 14 other odd incidents throughout his career where the NFL have just said, you're just blatantly hitting guys who are either defenseless, unprotected, and you're targeting them.
Yeah.
So
it was extraordinary.
That was Vontaze.
I thought you might have him. I've got someone who was not quite as bad, but certainly had a reputation. Defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh. Did you have him too?
I didn't, but he's up there.
Well, he played for the Lions, which is where he did a lot of his crimes on field. The Dolphins, the Rams, the Bucks, and the Eagles. Quite, like I said, not quite to the extent of Burfict, but he was known for other types of dirty plays, including stepping on the calf of the man whose jersey you're wearing at the moment. He just stepped back, and he made it look almost accidental, didn't he? But he got him. He stepped back on Rodgers, and he got his
dirty
calf.
Hawley.
That was a stomp.
I wasn't on it.
He stopped on another player, a Green Bay player, a little bit before that. I can't remember the name. It escapes me at the moment, but he shoved his head into the ground, got up, and then stomped on his arm. That was another big penalty. To the referee's credit in all these clips, they got him for every single one of these things. Maybe not the Rodgers one, they didn't see, but the others they did get. What else did he do? Oh, he had a hit to the forearm. He had all sorts of other low blows when players were out of play. And he was like a Burfict 2.0, I guess. If Mahomes is the GOAT 2.0, then this guy's dirty villain 2.0. Ndamukong Suh. Good player.
That was a very good player.
Effective, destructive, but
won
was
the
just
Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay.
Just sidetracked by this sort of stuff. It cleaned it up a little bit in his later years.
Yeah, he wasn't as...
he reined it in, but early on he was...
mellowed out towards the end of his career.
For the Lions, he was a mess. And it always seemed to be on rivals Green Bay. He hated the Packers.
Yeah, he did.
He hated it.
I wasn't exactly a huge fan of Ndamukong.
Didn't think so. All right, who's your last one then, Dos, if we both had Burfict?
Well, I've gone with someone who's anti-NFL establishment, and that is the great Al Davis.
Oh, good one.
Late Raiders owner. Coached the Raiders, Hawley, back in the early 60s before he became the owner. That was when there was the American Football League. That's where the animosity started. He rated Al Davis very much. The American Football League didn't like the National Football League and clashed with Commissioner Pete Rozelle at the time. For a long time, Rozelle was commissioner. Long rivalry. There is a 30 for 30 documentary on it. They used deep fakes to portray both of them, which I sort of found a little bit creepy. The storyline is okay, but...
They used deep fakes?
Yeah, they used...
That's weird.
Yeah, it's not done great. I think they probably could have done it a bit better. Anyway, but yeah, whether it was moving the team from Oakland to LA, which the NFL were against back in the 80s, lawsuits in and out of court with them. He sided with the USFL in 1986 to try and take down the NFL. But yeah, Al Davis, consistently a thorn in the NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle's side for the best part of 30 years.
Mark, not as controversial. His haircut's the most controversial thing about him, his son. That is the worst haircut I've ever seen.
His haircut and his current partner.
He's got a current partner.
Who was not aware that he was a...
Likes him not for his wealth.
I didn't know he was a billionaire.
No, I didn't know. Wasn't aware of it.
Have you seen...
He was in our Cheeky Lad rankings, I think.
Was he?
Well, he should have been.
Have you seen the pictures of him with his haircut and his little backpack?
No.
look up Mark Davis backpack. See if you can see.
No internet. My phone almost died.
Oh, man, it's a classic. Anyone listening or watching now, it's on YouTube. Mark Davis backpack. You won't regret it. All right, we've got another YouTube mini coming next week.